Hi, and welcome to Tech Talk, the Banker's video series on all things FinTech. I'm Joy Macknight, Technology Editor at The Banker, and I'm here with Michael Mueller, CEO of Form3 Financial Cloud. Thanks for joining us today, Michael.
Thanks for inviting me.
Can you tell me a little bit about what Form3 does?
Sure. The company was established about 9 months ago, and the idea was really to basically start building cloud-based back office technology, in particular in the payments and core banking space, to provide that to financial institutions initially in the London marketplace. It's been a very interesting journey since. We went live with the company about 2 months ago. I think we have a very exciting service proposition. And again, the idea is really to make products and services available to customers off-premise, i.e. in the cloud. And that's going really well. Okay.
For those that aren't techies, can you tell me a little bit about what is the cloud?
The cloud, yeah. I'm a banker, so I had to find that out myself. Basically, when we are talking about the cloud, it's basically the off-premise deployment of either hardware or software, which basically means that companies don't need to use their own data centers, their own servers on the premise, and can actually access applications through a web browser. Which basically means they don't need to take care of data security and all the issues that come with running small data centers on premise.
Okay, but there are some hesitation for especially financial institutions to move to the cloud because of security issues. What is your answer to that?
Well, it's actually quite interesting. Since we started, we've obviously talked to a lot of companies, and I'm not entirely sure that there is a lot of hesitation on the bank side to basically move to cloud-based applications. I think there's probably more of a constraint on the sell side, on the provider side, to basically come up with solutions that actually work in the cloud. So I think in many ways it's probably more a sell side problem than a buy side problem today.
Okay, but do you think the regulators, because I think also the regulators are definitely exploring security issues around the cloud. Do you think there's movement on that side of things?
Absolutely. So the FCA has recently issued a paper on cloud-based computing and financial services, and they're definitely opening up to the use of those systems. I think there's increased recognition now that all the big cloud providers should be in a better position to keep your data safe than companies themselves, especially where they don't have the scale of the tier 1 banks. If you're running a very small data center with potentially outdated technology, it's very hard to keep these environments safe. Whereas if you put them in the cloud, you have the resiliency, but also the data security that you need to provide these services on an ongoing basis.
And so how does Form3 fit into the fast-changing payments landscape?
Yeah, I think the key thing to know about us is really that we're not providing payment services to end customers. So we don't build payment propositions as such. We're not coming out with apps or cross-border payment propositions that customers can use. We're basically providing platform services behind those providers. So we're enabling payment service providers, banks and others, to provide high-end payment services to their clients. Good example for that is, for instance, access to faster payments. Still a major issue in the London market. Real-time payments, however, are products that end customers require. So many of the providers in the market are struggling to get access to real-time payment services, and that's how we fit in. So we provide the infrastructure required to access the clearing systems. We provide the sponsorship arrangements in connection on collaboration with banks. And we basically package that up in a way that customers can actually use it off the shelf.
Okay, and you've had a long history as a banker. What made you decide to move across to the FinTech world?
Well, there's probably 2 steps here. One is from being a banker to becoming a technology provider, and the other one is from moving from a big organization to a very small organization. And I think in today's markets, both things make a lot of sense. So I think banking is more about technology than it ever was. And when we looked at this and when we analyzed what's going on in the market, we could still find a bit of a divide between the technology side of things on the one hand and the bankers on the other. So I think it's quite interesting for either people from the financial services industry to learn more about the technologies, but also for technologists to learn more about the market dynamics and regulations and everything that you need to know about the business. So we have assembled a team of technologists and bankers to work together to basically bridge that gap, and that's a very exciting proposition. And in terms of the size of the organization, I think many bankers will probably tell you that working in a large organization with a lot of legacy technology, with a lot of regulations and all this, is sometimes very difficult, especially when dealing with new technologies. So being very agile, making decisions very quickly, and building great technologies for customers in a very agile way is very exciting for me. Plus the fact that working in a small team of very talented individuals is fun on a daily basis. So I'm certainly enjoying it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you.